Back at our big board as we wait for Harris and Walz in Pennsylvania, even though the governor of that state wasn't picked by Harris, there's a reason they're rolling it out in Pennsylvania. By far, still the most important state for Harris. Why? We always start with 235 electoral votes locked in for the GOP and 226 for the Dems. But here's the exercise. If you make Pennsylvania red, it's 254 GOP. So how would Harris win if she doesn't have Pennsylvania? But what if she went to the Sun Belt strategy and won, say, Georgia, Arizona, Nevada? Nope, not enough. That's only 259. Again, if Pennsylvania is red, she wins, say, Michigan and Wisconsin, which would be the other blue wall states, then even adds in Arizona and Nevada. Not enough. 268. So there are all these scenarios. Even if she won Michigan, Georgia, and Arizona, Michigan, Wisconsin, and Georgia, Arizona, Georgia, Nevada, and Wisconsin, not enough. Pennsylvania, by far, is the most important state on the map. Resetting it. That's where we're locked in. 235, 226 if Pennsylvania is still a toss-up. Let's bring in the former Democratic congressman from the state of Pennsylvania, Conor Lamb. Welcome back, Congressman. I'm not telling you anything you don't know, but it's just a different way of looking at it, that why Pennsylvania is important. Sometimes we look and try to add states, but if you subtract and you say, all right, we don't have those 19, where are we getting them? She does still need to win it. It's very difficult, right?
She does, and she knows that. That's why she's launching this battleground tour in Pennsylvania today. It's why they've paid so much attention to Pennsylvania throughout the whole administration. And I think Walz is going to be a great addition to her team here, and I expect to see him in Pennsylvania a lot.
What does Walz add? That was the thing that we talked about earlier, whether it's additive or it's just a do-no-harm pick, whereas you could argue Shapiro maybe helps her win the state, but somebody seemed to think that he could hurt her in some ways with turnout. I don't know if that's true or not. But if that was the calculus, what about Walz?
I think being a veteran, for me, is the number one. He was the ranking Democrat on the Veterans Committee when I served on that committee in Congress. He knows the issues. He has compassion. He has the history. He was an enlisted soldier, which is unique. And then he's just his demeanor, his cheerfulness, his plain-spokenness. Those are going to go over well in this state. The reason we're such a swing state is it's blue collar. It's people who are not very partisan one way or the other. And I think he's got the perfect personality for them.
No, it's funny you mention he's a veteran. I want to put up your tweet, I guess it was back then. There's Walz coming into Philadelphia earlier today when you talked about that. And you said, when Tim Walz welcomed me to that Veterans Committee, he smiled. He says, you'll love debating the Republicans on here. They don't know what to do with guys like us, meaning Democrats who are veterans, who win in red areas by knowing the issues that matter. Talk about that a little bit more, because my point earlier, and some of the guests that come on and made this point as well, is that that is who he was in Congress. He did win in red areas. Not so much anymore. It seems like he's moved left on certain issues. That's how you govern in Minnesota or get elected there as governor. But back then, you're saying they didn't know what to do with guys like you.
That's right. I mean, back then we were going through this battle against privatizing the VA, which was, something that came out of the Koch brothers playbook. And Tim Walz is the kind of guy who was able to work with Republicans to, expand veterans' options through limited privatization, but not allow any VAs to close or any VA services to be cut. We were trying to help Vietnam veterans still get access to care for the chronic conditions caused by Agent Orange. And the Democrats on the committee were the ones who were willing to spend them the money to get the treatment that they deserved. A guy of his age and generation could relate to that uniquely because he's actually not that far removed from the generation and experience of a lot of those older veterans. And that's who you see in Pennsylvania, is a lot of older veterans.
Interesting. As you know, the Republicans have kind of owned that vote in recent elections, so it's an interesting dynamic to add to all of this. How do you see the race? I think Marist just came out with a poll nationally that's 51-48 for Harris. I always say that our numbers show that she has to be up at least 3 nationally to win in the Electoral College, so this would put her right on the precipice or right about where she needs to be. Where's this race now, Harris and Walz versus Trump and Vance, in your mind?
I'd say it's a toss-up, and you just have to remember that here in Pennsylvania, it's only around 100,000 people really that changed their minds from 2016 to 2020 and made the difference from Trump to Biden.
Where are they, by the way? Are they all in the Philly suburbs? Thanks so much for watching. Just go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.